All right, YouTube. Here's my newest idea here. I've got all these little bits laying around everywhere, and I don't really know what to do with them. I just got a toolbox, a nice one, a big one. I'm trying to get it organized, and I'm trying to kind of manufacture something here for a ratcheting screwdriver, which this is the Harbor Freight $7.99 Pittsburgh one. Honestly, I've been using it for a couple weeks now. It's not bad. It's actually pretty solid. I wish it had a light, and I wish it had a extending magnet that came out of here, but other than that, I mean, I have no complaints. Switches over nicely, ratchets well. Not real far throw on that ratchet, so I mean, it's got a lot of teeth in it. It's got some power. I like the handle. Feels a lot like the Cobalt screwdrivers. But yeah, I just don't really know where or how I want to put it in my toolbox. So here's kind of the idea I had. I was going to draw out some 1x quarters. So these are all 1/4 inch. Just pretty much making a frame, making a tray really, if you will. Spot to put the ratcheting driver. A place to organize the bits. These are all individual ones. These actually cost more than the screwdriver, which I thought was kind of funny. These are like $9 on, I think I got them off of eBay, not Amazon. But, so I'm going to have the little section right here for these. Keep these organizing together so I can see everything. In here, I've got some sockets that go to this. I'll probably put some little sockets in here, some little cheap sockets. I've got all my sockets that I really need from ratchets, so I've got some extra ones I'll put like in here. I'm probably going to foam these out. I've got a little bit of foam that I can cut out. Put some sockets in here. And then really just leave it as a junk tray for all the other bits that I've got. This holds 120 bits right here. I imagine I've probably still got another 100 bits from just random crap laying around. So I'm going to work on this. The way I've got this measured out, in case you're looking to get this same setup, I've got these two. And this may change. I just did a template to see if it would actually line out how I thought it would, but these A's. So I've got A is from here to here, and I've got that as 6 inches. Am I even on the damn thing? There, that's better. So A, I've got two of these. I've got one from here to here. I'm going to go on the inside. And then I've got one across the top. You know, it's pretty much a box on the outside. I didn't do anything fancy. I'm not going to go 90s on the or 45s on the corners or anything like that. I could care less on that. As long as it looks decent, you know, I'll sand it down, stain it. B's, the long pieces along the outside, I've got those as 9 inches. So 6 inches inside, 9 inches outside. That would make this 8.5 through here. This is going to go from up here all the way down to here. And then really the only thing I have left to do is put in a cross brace. I think that's the easiest way to line this out and make the least amount of cuts. D is 3 7/8. I'm not quite sure how that happened, but I think it's because I kind of had a weird depth on this right here. So just to make sure the screwdriver fit and had enough room for everything. I didn't want it to be too close to the edges. I wanted to actually be able to cut into the foam and leave an edge there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go find some just scrap wood, and I am going to figure out the cuts and go throw them on my table saw and make some cuts. Okay, so I found a board. I think it'll work. It's pretty rough on one side, smooth on the other. I think it's pine. Just a scrap piece I had from some outdoor stuff I was doing. I went ahead and made a line on it. Took the line all the way across here. I want to make sure I'm cutting on the other side of that line so that this line is flush with the cut instead of right through the middle of the cut, so it makes it the right size. Using a Ryobi table saw. I believe I got this like 20 years ago as a Christmas present. It's been okay. I think the blade on it that I've got now is probably worth more than the table saw. The only thing I do like is it does have the measurements here on the front. So I can line that up, and it seems to be pretty okay. The blade kind of teeters a lot. I don't really like that, but and it only goes so deep. You notice I'm only going like halfway through this. I guess I should probably measure that, see if I can at least get 2 inches out of it. Yeah, it should be right at about 2 inches. Let me see if I can get just a little bit higher. That way I can get 2 cuts on the 1-inch side. There we go. So I'm going to run this through here and start making some pieces. So it worked okay for a while. Obviously you can see kind of screwed it up here at the end. It's a little bit thicker, so I just got to remember to break that off. Nope. Got to remember that this is bad up here. So pin, I'm just gonna make an X on it so I don't try to use it. Wonder why it's not fitting together properly. And now we're gonna go to 1 inch. That's at 1 inch. I don't need it to be so freaking tall. And I'm going to mark it just so I can eyeball it and just double check it. This is a Ryobi, so you never know. Could be completely off. Okay, a better way to do this. This is actually a ruler for sewing, but I love this thing. Okay, let's try this again from the right side. Cold. Yeah, see, that doesn't look right to me. I guess if I cut it all the same, it's not going to matter. But, and then it goes right to the middle of the blade. So I am going to push it out 1/8. See where that puts me. That's closer. That's good enough. This is just the height, so the height really doesn't matter near as much as the length. So we're gonna go with it. One more cut out of this, so we're gonna go for it. Alright, good enough. Now I just got to figure out which are the right ones, and we'll start cutting these down. Okay, so I've measured out the wood. I'm going to go ahead and cut it here. I've got this Black & Decker chop saw. This thing actually works pretty well. It's pretty old. Again, I got a Diablo blade on there. These blades are actually pretty good. I will say cutting dowels. I was cutting dowels for another project, and it was just chewing them up bad. I don't know if that's just because of me or what, but I'm not a big fan of that. But for the most part, this is pretty good. Zeroed out. Good. Let me get the wood. So I've got both pieces here. I kind of just found the good spots in them because, as you can tell, I didn't do a very good job on the table saw. So just going to run through, cut the good spots out, and use those. I'm going to make sure I'm cutting on the X side. See, I marked an X. I don't know if you can see that on the video, but right here I've got an X where I know I want to leave that as garbage. So this one is going to be garbage on this side. I like to bring the blade down, kind of get an eyeball on it, make sure it looks like it's going to cut right. Sure could use a real table. I think that would help out a lot if I don't have wood just flying all over the place here. Okay, so we're going to cut this side. Nope, almost cut the wrong side there. Do it this way because I like the way it cuts from this side. I can get a better angle on it somehow. Haha, caught it. Without cutting off my arm, by the way. That was nice. As you can see, a little bit of splintering at the end. It's not bad, but it's not good either. You know, I'm not a professional. I don't need anything that's going to be perfect, but you know, I do like to do decent stuff. Alright, so let's see what we got here. We should have a couple pieces that are the same length. Man, it's getting cold. So those are our oddballs. These all right here should match up. And I can see that these do not. These are pretty good right here. You can see one of those guys a little longer than the other. So let's see which one I screwed up on. Looking at it, this guy looks a little long. This guy looks right on the money. So I'm guessing this is the good one, this is the bad one. And that would make sense based on what I'm seeing here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to line them up like this. Now once I cut this, they should be the same size. Alright, so I'm going to go dry run this and see how we're looking. Alright, back inside in the warmth. It's pretty cold out there today. So here's our little pieces. Hopefully I don't get any splinters out of them. Oh, did I screw it up? Yeah, that's right, that's a longer one. So it looks like either This one looks too long. I mean, for the most part, I think this is gonna work. I feel like it's a little off, but it's a bit holder. It's going in my toolbox. So I think I can live with that. Just this guy needs to be cut down a little bit. All right, well, we're gonna cut this down and come back. All right, so gonna do some sanding here. Just gonna nice and cleaned up, get all the edges off here because they'll start splintering on me, and get some of the cut out of them. Some of them a little bit splintering on them. So just gonna clean them up a little bit before I start assembling them. I'm gonna put them together after this. I was considering staining them first and then putting them together, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and just put them together. Do a little more work on it. I need to make a bottom for it. Didn't really plan that at first, but then the more I thought about it, the more I thought, you know what, maybe I want to carry this somewhere. So I'm going to make a bottom for it. So I'm going to do some sanding here, and then we will move on to the next step. Alright, so they're sanded. Alright, and I'm back. So, of course, I left my wood glue out in the garage. I put it in front of the heater for a while. Yeah, I don't know if this stuff is any good or not, but yeah, we're going to try it anyway. I've got this little guy, the Can-Do clamp. It's got a good name. I'll give it that. So far, it seems like it lines things up pretty well. I'm going to go ahead and glue. I say glue. I'm going to try to glue the corners together, at least make the frame, get that together, and then give it some pin nails. I've got some nails in here, nice and rusted, just like you want them. They hold better, right? They'll go in about 1/4 of an inch. So they're about, I guess they're about a 1/2 inch long, I guess. They should work. Hopefully this thing doesn't kick on while we're working on this. It's gonna be fucking loud. Well, I don't know, it didn't kick on, so we're gonna go ahead and try to go see what happens here. Loosen this up. A little makeshift spoon here. Looks straight. Pretty nice and tight. Rag here. I'll sand that off later. So let's see if I can line this up right. So far I've not been doing a very good job here. Either that went way far in there or nothing came out. No clue. Let me turn the air down. Okay, so we're like at 80 now. I'm just going to take a look real quick because I don't think it's actually even shooting a freaking nail. Maybe it is. How about that? Okay, so yeah, I guess we're good there. So let's do the other side. Alright, let's be a can-do clamp, not a can't-do clamp. I know one of these times I'm going to put my hand back in the glue. Alright, I think that looks pretty good. I don't like how far in that's going. You guys should at least see the head of the nail. Okay, I can kind of see it there now. It's okay. So now I need to do it like this right here. Don't let me down, can-do clamp. I feel like I'm running out of room here. Okay, I think that's good enough. Alright, can do. What? Well, this is fun. Come on, you can do it. Alright, let me get the part done. Okay, that worked. Let's put the nails in. Let's see if I can figure out what's going on with this freaking hair compressor. So far, I'd say that the can-do clamp is doing it. So, can't really knock it. I don't remember how much it cost. I've had it for a while. I think I might have used it once. But in general, I'd say at this point, I'm pretty happy with it. I can guarantee you I would not have been close to straight with any of this before otherwise. Alright folks, we have a frame. Looks okay. That's a little off here and there. That's probably just because I didn't do a very good job cutting the wood. So, I'll take it. It's fairly sturdy. Once we get the cross beams in here, it should be even better. So these can go either way. They can go this way or that way. I haven't decided which way I'm going to do them, but they are the same size either way. So Let me just set these in here. And this will determine where everything else goes. Look at that. Nice, huh? So they're a little loose, which is good. You want to be able to get them out. Now, should I make sure that I've got that right? Bug me if I don't. You know what? Where's the screwdriver? Okay, fingers crossed. Nice. Like a glove. So the foam is going to be a little off. Well, the foam's going to be thin on some spots, but whatever. Let me get a ruler. Just because I know it's going to shift when I start working on it. Just going to put a little tiny mark right here that I can sand off. Alright. Move this out of the way so I don't get glue all over it. Glue those in place. The pins will probably hold it just fine, but hey, why not? I got the glue out. Let's see, this is the top. Yes, top up here. And I'm getting glue everywhere. Sweet. Wait to try to get that off. What the hell? I just fit a second ago. Go. I have no good idea how to make this sit straight. I don't believe the can-do clamp can do that. Get that out of the way. Just gonna wing it here. Nice and flush up top. Don't nail your finger. Don't nail your finger. Alright. No nails in the finger. Alright. Haven't even pushed one through on the side yet. I'm kind of proud of myself. Now, are you straight up and down? I feel like there's probably a tool I can use like a square, but I'm not going to use it. Alright, we're getting places, people. Okay, so this goes this side. I apologize, but I've got to see what I'm doing here. Otherwise, I'd flip it around so you can see it from my point of view, but I don't trust myself. As you can see, I like to live dangerously. Back it off just a tiny wee bit. And I'm wondering if after I put bits in here, if it's not going to push it out a little bit more too. So I'm going to give it even just a little bit more. I'm going to go back to the ruler. Right at 4 inches. Huh. Okay. little bit of play, a little bit of play. That's good. And I'm thinking about actually taking this side right here and cutting down a little bit lower so I can get in here and get these out if I need to. I figure with the bits I should be able to kind of grab the bits in places. I don't know. We'll have to see. Maybe I'll route this out or something. But kind of see how it goes. So get these guys out of the way. Back to the nastiness. There we have it. We have a frame. It's not uber sturdy. It's not bad. If I was smart, I'd probably let this glue dry before I went any further, but I'm not smart, and we're going to keep working on it. Now the question is, what do I want to do now? Now I have this. I think this goes on a countertop or something. I don't even know where I got it. It's just in my garage, and so I'm going to use it. Because I don't want it to be thick. This stuff is thinner than my ruler even, so that's good. I'm just going to, maybe I'll do like this just in case I ever pull it out. I can look at the bottom and be like, wow, it looks so cool. But I'm going to outline it. If I'm lucky, this pen will work. Oh, yeah, I guess it did kind of work. Yeah, I'm going to get a Sharpie. No, I don't want to get a Sharpie because I don't want to mark all over this thing. Alright, we're just going to hope I can see it when we're done. I see enough. Alright, we're good. So, this guy here and a roller knife, I'm going to go inside and I'm going to cut that out because if I try to use scissors, it's going to look like a 4th grader did it. So, I'll be back. Alright. So, this stuff was really hard to cut. I'm actually kind of concerned if the nails will go through this. We'll try it out. But, yeah, I think this is laminate countertop material is what this is. Honestly, I probably don't need it. I cut the foam too. It doesn't look real good from the back, but from the front looks pretty good. Once you got the backing on there, the shadows will help cover any kind of holes along the edges there, so my cutting doesn't look too bad. So then from here, you know, I got to trace out my screwdriver. I mean, actually, I could probably just set it in there, honestly. But I think I'm going to at least cut the handle out so it sits down there and they're a little more flush. And then the rest can just set up on top. So I'll do that. Figure out what I want to put in here, if I want to put some sockets or something like that. I'm going to take these out while this thing dries though, because I don't want it pressing outward, because it kind of does. I cut it just a little bit tight in some spots, and even though it's got a couple small little gaps like right here, it's still pretty tight in there everywhere but the spot I messed up. So I'm going to pull that out, let it dry. I'll probably actually sand it tonight, just kind of smooth out the edges, kind of make it all kind of feel like one piece. I mean, I still need to figure this out, because I mean, once we get this here, Drop these bad boys inside of here. So they're still a little loose. Got a little bit of play in them. I like that. I just got to figure out what I really want to do about how to get them out. Hey, do I have any with stuff in them? Well, drill bits, probably not the best example, but I'm guessing these, yeah, drill bits are not anything like what's going in there, so. But maybe I'll start organizing the actual bits tonight to put in here. See kind of how high they come up above here. I'm guessing they're going to be a little bit above it because these go halfway up already. The drill bit's probably going to sit just barely above the top there. I wonder if I can just get my hands in there and just pull them up. Or maybe I want to do something like, I've got a little bit of room. Maybe I could do like a little tab system where each one has a little tab in the back that I could just pick up and pull out. I don't know what I want to do yet, so I'm going to figure that out tonight, and as soon as I get some more time, I will finish up the video. Thanks for watching. So I've got some dark walnut stain. I usually use a brush for this, but then I usually end up wiping it off anyway, so just going to use some shop towel, so I ended up throwing the brush away, and I feel bad wasting a brush, little foam brush, just for one little deal, so let's get the sucker stained. Alright, so we'll see how that dries. Alright, welcome back. Hopefully you can see the lighting. Lighting looks pretty bad in here today. But finish up the staining. Looks pretty good, I think. So I sanded the edges down on this a little bit. So this is looking alright as well. We're going to try to nail this guy down. So got the air compressor working, just had to keep messing with it. Finally decided to cooperate. So let's see if we can get this guy to nail down. Oh wow. Alright, so screwed that up a bit. I got nails here, all along back here. So I guess I'm going to fix these real quick. Alright, I'm back. So I just used a pair of side nippers. Cut the heads of these off over here. You can still kind of see them. They're going to be low in the deal, so you probably won't see them once I've got it foamed and everything. And the ones in the back here on the back row, these I just nipped off and then pressed into the wood. So hopefully that'll be all right. I went ahead and pre-cut the foam. We can go ahead and put that in. Looking pretty good. And then on this piece right here, I just kind of kept going at it, outlining it, get it as close as I could. And then I used a super sharp X-Acto knife and just cut this around. Some tips I have on this is to almost saw it using the X-Acto knife. That seemed to work a little bit cleaner than trying to just press. It seemed like when I was pressing down hard and just trying to go slow, it would get caught on stuff and then it would leave like weird marks inside of here. It's still not perfect. I don't know if you can really cut foam perfectly. And if you're wondering, this is the Harbor Freight anti-fatigue mat. It's like $7, because I know someone's going to ask that. Much cheaper than buying actual toolbox foam. And for all the burrs, this actually didn't go all the way down. I've got kind of some weird cut lines in there, but I don't care. For the little burrs and stuff that are on there, I actually use a lighter and just kind of lightly burn them off. You might want to use a test piece first and kind of see how it reacts to the flame. And kind of went back there and cleaned that up a bit. So we'll put this in here. So far looking pretty good. I'm going to move over to the other table now that I'm done with this part, just because you can see a little better. Alright, so here we go. We got the foam in here, which bottom of the foam looks like it could be a little longer or something. I don't know, it's kind of fitting weird there. Well, let's make sure that the screwdriver fits pretty well. Good enough for me. Got my tray there. Where are my bits? So I went through yesterday and organized some bits to put in here. And there we have it. Not a bad little deal. So here's my some sockets I've got that can be used with it. I'm just going to throw these on top. I was originally going to cut them down into the foam, and then I realized it doesn't really matter. Plus, with these, I may just want to grab these and the screwdriver by itself and just go. So foam's not a lot of fun to cut either. So these have just enough room to kind of shake around, but not enough to really fall out. And walking around, Hollands, if you really shake it hard. As far as getting them out, I feel like I can get to most of these. They pull out easy enough. There's enough gaps in here, or the flatheads are easy. I think if I went the other direction with them, I don't think it would work quite as well. Plus, looks like most of all the slack I put in it, evidently I put on just going this direction. I didn't put it that way, so it fit pretty tight that way. I think this is a weird way to do it. I don't really like it. You could do it that way, doesn't matter. So we'll go back to the way they were. And for the most part, you can see the part I screwed up the nails back there, which I'm surprised it took me that long to screw up a nail. Usually I'm pretty bad about those. Probably should have taken a little more time with them. I got a little impatient. There we go. So go find a place for it in the toolbox. somewhere right around here. And if you're wondering, I built this one too. This is for all of my other sockets. Put little handles on the ends of it there. Used dowel rods. Cut another piece of scrap wood. This turned out really well. As you see, they don't really fall out really easily. I'm almost at a 90 there, and they're still in there, so easy to move around. So in case you have some odd sockets and you don't have numbering for them, which that's the one thing I didn't like on this. I didn't really put a good spot for numbering. I didn't make a video on this, but I am going to do one similar to this for the hex sockets I got. So I may make a video of that as well. If I do, maybe I'll link it eventually or something like that. But here's kind of where I'm at now with my socket drawer. So it's getting there. And thank you for watching.